Welcome to beautiful Vintage Throne Stadium in Barrie, Ontario for what promises to be a great matchup between the Guelph Royals and the Barrie Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV in Barrie. Patch Melbourne, Julius Hern with you. Ben Davy is on assignment. All right, Julius, some news before we get started today. We have a couple of new players on the team. Outfielder Candice Ayo joins the team for the first time, and Frank Garces is back after being activated from the injured list. In corresponding moves, Brad McQuinn is placed on the inactive list. He left the game a few days ago with a quad injury. And Christian Kazemka has been traded to the Brantford Red Sox for future considerations. All right, Julius, top of the order today, completely new look. Noel McGarry-Doyle and Candice Ayo at the top. What are you expecting from the top?
I'm expecting a lot of firepower, I guess I could say, to start. These guys are really roaring to go. I met with Noel and Candice before the game today, and they're really excited to be here, really excited to get their season in the IBL started here today.
Candice Ayo, someone who has played in the Frontier League. All right, should be fun. We'll get to it in just a moment, but first let's head on the fields and hear from our public address announcer, Rob Daniels. Welcome back. Rob Daniels on the mic in just a moment. We'll give you the starting lineups before we get going. First, for the Guelph Royals, it'll be Brando LaRue leading things off, then Ethan Hammond, Tristan Pompey, J.D. Williams, Tony Herinque, Noah Roberts, Michael Chiquetto, Darius Barlas, and Corey Morrow. We'll give you the Baycats one when we come back. First, here's Rob.
Baycats baseball. Tonight's Inter-County Baseball League game features the visiting Guelph Royals and your Barrie Baycats. Here are the starting lineups. First for the visiting Guelph Royals. Batting first, the shortstop, number 5, Brando LaRue. Batting second in left field, number 28, Ethan Hammond. Batting third in right field, number 17, Tristan Pompey. Batting fourth in center field, number 9, J.D. Williams. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 48, Tony Herinque. Batting sixth at first base, number 22, Noah Roberts. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 44, Mike Chiquetto. Batting eighth at third base, number 4, Darius Barlas. And batting ninth at second base, number 3, Corey Morrow. Pitching tonight for the Royals, number 61, Yomar Concepcion. And now the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first, playing left field, number 95, Noel McGarry-Doyle. Batting second, the center fielder, number 9, Candice Ayo. Batting third in right field, number 4, Starlin Rodriguez. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fifth at second base, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting sixth at third base, number 13, Marcel Lacasse. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 5, Josh Cote. Batting eighth at first base, number 40, Josh Tibbetts. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, number 3, Carson Burke. Pitching tonight for your Baycats, number 30, Juan Benitez. The umpires for tonight's contest, calling the balls and strikes, Preston Hughes. Handling first base, we have Ryan Jackson, and at third base, Jared Merkley. Fans, we ask that you please rise if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
Welcome back. Just about ready to get underway here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Juan Benitez taking the mound for his first pitch of the season, Julius Hern. And he's had a good couple of seasons in Barrie, and now he gets started with season number 3.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him make his season debut here for the Baycats. You know, he told me, really excited. He's got a 5-pitch mix to work with. He's got fastball, changeup, slider, sinker, and curveball. He's really going to mix it up on these Guelph hitters today. Guelph struggling to start the season a little bit, but I think Juan Benitez is really going to show them, some of them, what they're seeing so far this year again as they face the Baycats.
One more time, the Royals lineup, just in case you missed it before the public address announcement. Shortstop Brando LaRue will lead things off. Then Ethan Hammond, the left fielder. Tristan Pompey is the right fielder. He's batting third. Then the center fielder, J.D. Williams, good power speed threat, batting fourth. Tony Herenque, the catcher, batting fifth. And Noah Roberts, the first baseman, former Baycat. The designated hitter, Michael Chiquetto, is batting seventh. Another former Baycat from the 2021 season, Darius Barless, is batting eighth. He's the third baseman. Then Corey Morrow, the second baseman, batting ninth. We'll see their starter, Yomar Concepcion, in a moment. But first, Juan Benitez. As we look at what Juan did over his last year with the Baycats, he had a 4.86 ERA across 13 games. He started all of them. 77 strikeouts in 74 innings. That's excellent. Only 17 walks. That's pretty good as well. But Julius, he needs to keep the hits down. He had 85 last year in 74 innings. That number needs to come down.
Yeah, I think as long as he can keep the ball on the ground, let his defense take care of the work, I think he can get some quick outs, have some quick innings, and keep his pitch count down throughout the game.
Tough Royals lineup today, but the Royals have not been on a hot streak at all. They have a team they're very happy with on paper, but if you look at their results, it has just not come across at all. The last game they lost against the Brantford Red Sox, they didn't have a win coming into that game. They lost 4-2 to the Red Sox. They've actually dropped 5 in a row after winning their season opener against the Hamilton Cardinals. So the Royals looking to rebound from a tough beginning of the season. Baycats are also on a bit of a losing streak. They're hoping to get back in the win column as well. Benitez ready on the hill. Brando LaRue stepping in for the first at-bat of the night. And we're just about ready to get underway at Vintage Throne Stadium in what is a really pleasant evening for baseball weather-wise. First pitch from Benitez is sky to right field. Moving over is Rodriguez, also the second baseman Odd trying to steal it. On his knees, Rodriguez will get to it and make the catch. One away.
That was a really impressive catch by Rodriguez. It looks like he might have lost that one in the sky a little bit, but He managed to stay with it, catch it right above the ground with a basket catch. Very impressive play from the right fielder.
So now Ethan Hammond, the left fielder. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Benitez as he gets his first challenge against a left-handed hitter today. The righty LaRue and now the lefty Hammond. First pitch from Juan. That's a strike. Umpires today behind the plate, Preston Hughes. Third base umpire is Jared Merkley. First base umpire is Ryan Jackson. Pitch from Benitez is just high, 1-1. You will see that pitch mix, as Julius mentioned, 5 pitches from Juan. Former MLB pitcher, was in the Miami Marlins organization for a period of time before joining the Baycats in 2021. That's low, 2-1.
Also pitched in the national system in the Dominican Summer League in 2012.
Has pitched in both the Dominican Summer League and the Dominican Winter League. Speaks very highly of Lee Dom, the Winter League. A couple members of the Baycats pitched there, as well Frank Garces, who was activated today. Pitch up high, 3-1. Hammond is hitting 200 for the season, has 3 RBI, but still looking for that breakout hit. And that's a strike, 3-2. So a full count. These two at-bats going very differently. First, a first pitch fly out, now a full count.
Yeah, I think the challenge here for Juan is that he needs some swing and some contact, especially on the ground, like I mentioned earlier.
3-2 pitch. Got him. Swing and a miss to strike out Ethan Hammond. Let's give you the Baycats defense here in the first inning.
The right fielder.
Out in the field for the Barrie Baycats, we have Noel McGarry Doyle making his season debut in left field. Kenise Eo out in center field. Starlin Rodriguez makes a start in right field. Marcella Cass at third. Carson Burns at short. Adam Odd at second base. Josh Tibbetts at first. And Josh Cote behind the plate catching Juan Benitez.
Now here's an interesting batter. We saw Dalton Pompey last year with the Guelph Royals, but he retired after the season, and then the Royals asked his brother to come join the roster, and he did. So Tristan Pompey making his first appearance in Barrie of his IBL career. First pitch was a strike, second to ball, count 1-1 to Tristan. Tristan Pompey never really made the major leagues, but he was a top prospect at one point in the major league system. That's hit to right field, foul, heads up.
They made it as high as AAA in the Miami Marlins organization in 2021, but struggled to maintain that high level of performance in the last couple of years.
Juan looks into the dugout, now has his sign, working with the young Josh Cote behind the plate today, as you mentioned. Here's the 1-2, and just misses, count even now.
Looks like there's a little bit of early break on that pitch right there. Looks like Pompey might have picked it up right away out of his hand.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And that's ball 3, another full count. So through 3 batters in this game, we've seen 2 full counts. Three and 2. Right field. Way back, Starlin Rodriguez will just watch it go. Tristan Pompey hits it out, and it's 1-0 Guelph here in the first. Tristan Pompey on a 3-2 count hits a big home run to right field, and Guelph gets off to the early lead.
Rodriguez knew that was gone almost right away. Like, he started drifting back, and he slowed up just before the warning track. He knew that was over the fence for sure.
Center fielder number 9, J.D. Williams.
And now it doesn't get any easier. J.D. Williams, arguably the best offensive hitter last year for the Guelph Royals, stands in now. And Juan looking to rebound after that big home run. First pitch to Williams is a strike.
J.D. Williams, a former Cincinnati Reds prospect. Made it as high as A-ball in 2018.
Good speed, good defender, and he's a good contact and power bat. That's up and in. Defense playing traditionally, which means there's a gap up the middle, with the second baseman Adam Ott playing a little closer to first and the shortstop playing at traditional shortstop position. Count now 2-1 after a pitch in the dirt. and that's up and in. On deck is Tony Herenque. Herenque. That was a little behind-the-scenes communication there while we were working out. Here's the 3-1. Right field on the ground. Foul. Gets by the first base coach, Paul Ante.
J.D. Williams posted a 705 OPS during his 4-season minor league career.
Benitez taking his time, getting the dirt on the mound to his liking. Now comes home. That's on the ground to Burns. At shortstop, throw on to first is caught by Josh Tibbetts, and that'll end the inning. Guelph gets one on the home run by Tristan Pompey, but nothing after that. We head to the bottom of the first. We'll see the Baycats bat on Rogers TV in Barrie and on Baycats TV.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Welcome back. Barrie Baycats about to take to the plate for the first time today. Let's give you the lineup. Noel McGarry-Doyle will lead things off and play left field. Then Kenise Eo makes his Baycats debut, playing center field and batting second. Then it's Rodriguez, Rio, and Odd in the middle of the order. Marcel Lacasse, the third baseman. Then Josh Cote, Josh Tibbetts, the first baseman, and the shortstop, Carson Burns.
On the mound today for the Guelph Royals is Yomar Concepcion, making his third appearance of the season for Guelph. So far, he's 0-1 with a 3.00 ERA in 2 appearances. 9 innings pitched among those 2 appearances.
First pitch to speedy outfielder Noel McGarry-Doyle is down and away. Noel making his 2023 debut today. Baycats fans really gave him a nice ovation in the opening here today. They love his speed, they love his versatility in the outfield, and they love his approach at the plate. He's been a consistent leadoff or 2-hitter in his time with the Baycats. Counting at 2-0. Fouled back. Prior to joining the IBL once again, Yomar was with the CPBL in Taiwan, where he played for the Fubon Guardians. Had an ERA of 4.18 across 2 seasons there. Actually got some starts in 2021 in what is a very competitive league. Ground ball to second. Nice play. Throw on to first, and Noel is retired. That'll bring up Ao. And Yomar did pretty well in his second year, worked more out of the bullpen, and now finds himself in his second stint with the Royals. And he'll face off against Kenise Eo, who will step in for the first time as a Barrie Baycat. As the Baycats sound team deciding to celebrate the Barbie movie release with Ao's walk-up music today. Big swing and a miss from Eo, 0-1. Eo takes the roster spot of Christian Kazemka, who is now with the Brantford Red Sox, we mentioned in the open. Technically speaking, Garces took that roster spot when we're talking about the import player rule. And Brad McQuinn finds himself on the inactive list. He hurt his quad a little while ago. Count now 1-0 to Kanice Eo.
This is Eo's first IBL appearance since the playoffs in 2018 with Burlington.
Here's the 1-1. And that's inside. Eo played the last couple of seasons with the, I'm going to butcher this, the Isles, the Eagles in French of the Frontier League. The Trois Rivières team is how I should have gone about that. I think it's Isles, how you pronounce that?
I believe so.
I believe so. Eels. I'm just going to stop trying to pronounce French on the broadcast. I think that's a good move. Anyway, he did really well there. Last season he had a well above average season. That's down and in, 3-2. And now he joins the Baycats in the top of the order in an outfield that is expected to be one of the IBL's best with McGarry Doyle, Eo, and Rodriguez. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yomar ready, and now comes home. And that's foul back.
Eo played a little bit in Trois Rivières this year, but struggled a little bit. A 191 average in 14 games over 53 plate appearances.
And the Frontier League is very competitive. A bad 14 game stretch can sidetrack you on there. And the Baycats taking advantage of the Trois Rivières team moving on a little bit early, perhaps, as Eo takes the walk. And a base runner for the Baycats in the bottom of the first.
As I met with him earlier before the game, he seemed really confident, really refreshed to be here, really like a new start to his season again.
So now Starlin Rodriguez. Julius looking over at me for help with his scorecard, and just a complete waste of time on his part because I messed up the first part. First pitch to Starlin. That's a strike. Rodriguez leading the team in homers so far this year. He had one on the road to match his one at home. You can view both of those on Baycats TV. Here's the 0-1. Runner on the move into second, and the throw is late. So Eo gets a stolen base in his first game with the Baycats.
He got a great jump there, and he was in well before the throw. Looked like he really caught the back leg of Concepcion very quickly and had a great jump.
First inning brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade. No balls, 2 strikes to Starlin Rodriguez. Up the middle. Tough play. LaRue throw on to first, and they just got him. And there are 2 out in the inning.
Still a productive at bat for Rodriguez, moving the runner up. And bringing up Ryan Rio here with 1 out and a runner on third.
Now we'll see what Ryan Rio can do against Yomar Concepcion. Baycats in their Throwback Thursday uniforms. The bright red tops with the white pants. Pitch swung on and missed inside from Concepcion. Royals in their blue tops with the white pants. One of their road sets. Rio fouls it off. Royals in their second season back in the IBL after taking the 2021 season off because of COVID-related reasons. Here's the 0-2. Rio left field. That's going to get down for a base hit and tie the game. Eo's going to score an RBI single for Ryan Rio, and it's 1-1.
We've seen that from Rio quite a bit this year, him being able to go the other way with a hard hit line drive. And now it pays off, and now it's a tie ball game.
Adam Odd.
And now Adam Odd. One of the pleasant surprises, I think, on our end from what we've seen with Adam Odd is his defensive versatility this season. We've seen him play more second and third base, whereas last year he was mostly playing first base and DH. So as Odd gets healthier and healthier, he's been playing the field more and more. Today playing second base for the Baycats. Runner on first, Rio taking his lead. Kicks comes home. And a first pitch strike to Adam Odd. Odd has a couple RBI on the season. One hit in 9 plate appearances. Down to way, 1-1. Has a couple of walks, though, so he's been on base a few times. That's inside low. Got now 3-1. Excuse me, 2-1. Got a little excited there for a moment. Here's the 2-1. Now it's 3-1. So writing in my notes, commentator was correct just a little bit early.
You mentioned Adam Odd's defensive versatility so far this year, but it seems to me like he's really settling into that second base role.
I would agree with that. That's in the zone, 3-2. Fans thought it was inside. Full count as the sun sets here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Yomar Concepcion's pitch is hit on the ground. Second base, Corey Morrow back over to first, and that will retire the side. Baycats tie it up on an RBI single from Ryan Rio to score Canis Io. And we're all tied at 1 heading to the second inning on Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Throughout the evening, we're going to keep you updated on the out-of-town scoreboard. 2 games going on the IBL aside from this one. Hamilton and Kitchener still scoreless early on in that game. The Brantford Red Sox are tied with the Welland Jackfish 1-1 right now. They were tied about 10 minutes into the game, so early action in Wellands. And then getting it caught up here, it is 1-1 between the Guelph Royals and Barrie Baycats. Tristan Pompey, a big home run in the top of the first, and an RBI single from Ryan Rio scoring Canis Io in the bottom of the first. Second inning brought to you by Wingin' It Restaurants, the great taste of adventure. Tony Arinkyu stands in now for his first at-bat against Juan Benitez. And the first pitch from Benitez is hit to left field. Looks like it might drop, and it does. So a first pitch single for Hern in his first at-bat of the season here at Finch's Throne Stadium.
First baseman, number 22, Noah Roberts.
So now here's Noah Roberts, who can play both catcher and first base. Today playing first base.
We mentioned all the swings that Benitez has been getting on his pitches, especially last year, giving up 85 hits.
That pitch in the dirt got away from Cote for a minute, but not far enough for his counterpart Hern to advance.
But now would be a great time for him to get a ground ball.
Now that'll get in the zone, 1-1 from Benitez. We've noticed that Juan tends to pitch better the further into the night he goes. So whether that's weather related or just getting more comfortable, I think it's a combination of both. 1-1. And that's outside. On the other side, Concepcion used to pitching in Taiwan where it is extremely humid. So any type of humidity throughout this season or heat will not be bothering him one bit.
Well, it's been very humid in this area over the past week or so, and it will be for the next 5 days as well.
Could be two. Burns, Odd, Tibbetts, got him. Double play. And now 2 outs in the inning.
And that was a well-turned double play by Burns and Odd. Odd had to make that turn on his off foot, kind of had to spin around and make a sidearm throw to first base, but well turned and now 2 out.
Now here's Michael Chiquetto. Right-handed hitter and a former Barrie Baycat standing in against his old teammate Juan Benitez. And he breaks his bat on the first pitch, grounding it to the third baseman Lacasse. Throw over the diamonds. Tibbetts steps on the bag, and a quick inning after a leadoff single for Juan Benitez. Heading to the bottom of the second here on Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Henderson and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Marcel Lacasse to lead things off here in the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Lacasse, then Josh Cote and Josh Tibbetts. So if you're a fan of ball players named Josh, this just might be your inning. First pitch from Lacasse. Skied to left field. Moving over and under it is Ethan Hammond. He makes the catch, 1 pitch, 1 out. Let's give you the defense for the Guelph Royals.
Catcher number 5.
In the field today for the Guelph Royals, Ethan Hammond in left field, J.D. Williams in center, Tristan Pompey, who hit that home run in the first inning, is in right field, Darius Barles at third, Brando LaRue at short, Corey Morrow at second base, and Noah Roberts at first, and Tony Hern is catching Yomar Concepcion.
And Concepcion facing off against Josh Cote for the first time today. Foul tip into the glove. It's a first pitch strike to Cote. Cote's looked good on both sides of the plate this year, both at the plate and behind it as catcher. Currently hitting .375. Outside, 2-1. And that one nearly got him. Looks like it went off the bat. So count now 1-2. I got ahead of myself a couple of times on the count there just because our technical guys are so fast with the count on the screen. They've already got the first ball down by the time I look for what the count was. I need to sharpen it up. Ground ball up the middle. Diving play. LaRue over to first, and it's late. Roberts couldn't handle it anyway. It's an infield hit for Josh Cote.
A great effort there from LaRue. Really knew that he had to lay out for that one, but same result as if the ball was going to get to center field. A great Josh Cote legging it out there for an infield hit.
And now Josh Tibbetts hoping to join his fellow Josh on base. I'm going to go out on a limb and say if that's Josh Tibbetts' walk-up song, he's a Boots and Hearts guy.
I think most of the guys on the team are, if I'm not mistaken.
Kicks comes home, and that's inside. Gets away from Hern, but again, not far enough. So both catchers have dealt with an identical situation so far where a ball is low, can't handle it, but the runner stays at first. Cote's got above average speed for a catcher over at first base. Righty pitcher, lefty hitter. The pitch is inside to Tibbetts. Count at 2-0. Whoops, there goes the pen. The rest of my scorebook's going to be red because I have to switch pens. That's a strike, 2-1.
Well, now you know when you dropped it.
It went way down there. Not the first time I've dropped a pen down there.
Me neither.
I like that pen. I might go get it after the game. 2-1. Throw on to first, try and get him, but Cote's back in time.
They called that one a strike. Looks like they're saying Tibbetts went around. That was a really close check swing.
Long hold on the mound from Concepcion as he looks in from the sign from Hern. He's got it. Glove by the waist, now comes home, and that's hit to center field. Moving in, J.D. Williams now moving to his left, and he makes the catch. 2 outs here in the second.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
That swing there by Tibbetts really looked like he didn't get all the way around in his swing. Like, it looked like he just poked the bat out there. And for that to go that far with just a simple poke, if he really put more of an effort into that swing, that ball could have been a home run to dead center.
Now the number 9 hitter, Carson Burns. And the pitch is inside. Burns has been platooning with Owen Jansen a little bit at the bottom of the order to start off this season. Burns hitting 200 in limited plate appearances, small sample size. 1-0 is hit to right field, pretty deep. Moving back, Pompey, and it's off the wall. Rounding third's Cote. He's going to score easily. 2-1 Baycats. An RBI double for Carson Burns, and now a short meeting on the mound between Hern and Concepcion as Noel McGarry-Doyle stands in.
Carson Burns split that gap perfectly, right in between J.D. Williams and Tristan Pompey.
Baycats have responded with 2 runs since the first inning home run from Tristan Pompey. First pitch to Noel, up and away. Again, up and away from Concepcion to McGarry Doyle. Baycats have 2 runs on 3 hits so far in this game. We're in the bottom of the second. Here's the 2-0. That's fouled away. By the way, it's not a tie game in Welland anymore between the Red Sox and the Jackfish. Welland puts up a 6th spot, and it's 7-1 in that game now. So it was close for a minute there. Count at 2-1 to McGarry Doyle. Hits a left field. Curving, Hammond under it. Jumps. And he's got it. And that'll end the inning. What a play in left field by Ethan Hammond. Jumping at the wall and making the catch as he came to the ground. Heading to the third on Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Anderson and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Welcome back. Third inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. So get a look at the game day weather. 25 degrees Celsius. It feels it. The humidity, Julius, throughout today and the last couple of days has been a lot.
It's been very sunny the last week or so here in Simcoe County. Rarely a cloud in the sky, sun beating down, very humid.
First pitch, a strike to former Baycat Darius Barless. Now down and in, gets away from Coates. No base runners, so it doesn't matter. Can't 1-1. Barless hitting 166 on the season. He grounds that one. Tibbetts fields it, flips it to the covering pitcher Benitez, and that's the first out. And Benitez needs to tuck in his jersey. He was given a warning for that in London last year. depends what umpire you get, how strictly that kind of thing's
Second
enforced.
baseman
Yeah,
number 3,
exactly.
Corey Morrow.
So now here's Corey Morrow. Now I need to ask a couple of members of the Guelph media team this, but I would assume Corey Morrow is related to teammate and former Baycat Connor Morrow.
I would assume so as well.
I would, yeah. That's a pretty safe assumption considering they spell the name the same way as well. Corey, in his first season with the Royals, he's hitting .363 from the bottom of the order this year. There's a strike. I should clarify, he's hitting .363 in general. He's hitting at the bottom of the order today, so that's the kind of perspective he gives you down there. Not necessarily limited to the bottom of the order, as that's way up and outside. Benitez still finding that control.
Yeah, I think now's a good time with nobody out. Low pressure situation here in the third inning with nobody on. Now is the time to start working in your breaking pitches. You know, starting to give the other hitters a different viewpoint of your pitch mix.
Just misses up and away, 2-2.
Like we saw in the last at bat, he was mixing in a couple sinkers, couple sliders.
Someone in the stands calling for the super duper pitch. Let's see if we get it. 2-2. I don't think that was it. Left field, moving over McGarry Doyle, and even though it wasn't super duper, it still got the job done. 2 outs.
And it was a hanging curveball that was hit the other way, long way, but McGarry Doyle there. It's like just in front of the warning track to make that catch.
I've got my first bug bite of the season here at Vintage Throne Stadium, by the way.
Oh no.
A milestone. Here's LaRue. He's 0 for 1, flew out to right field his first time up. And there's a strike. Ready for that one from Benitez. Takes a funny hop to Burns. Doesn't matter. Throw is way high, though, and it'll get by Tibbetts. Running all the way to second is LaRue, and they will not get him on the throw over there. So that'll be a 2-base error for Carson Burns. LaRue up to second.
That's a play you got to make, especially with a ball hit not that hard right at a defender. And Benitez was lucky that ball wasn't hit that hard. That's another hanging breaking ball that LaRue got a hold of.
That breaking ball just has not been working that well for Benitez today. Here's Hammond. He struck out his first time up in what was the best at-bat of the game for Juan Benitez thus far. And you really want to make sure you get Hammond because it's Tristan Pompey on deck.
You don't want Pompey to come up with 2 runners on.
Juan looks back at the runner, now comes home. And that's up and away. Feels like the fastball, the location's been struggling, and the off-speed, the location's been there, but the zip on it hasn't. A lot of hangers. Benitez comes home, that's high again.
Yeah, Benitez, this inning at least, has been a bit high on all of his fastballs, and his breaking pitches have been easy to see out of his hand. And even then, the location has just been right in the heart of the plate.
38th pitch of the game coming up from Benitez right now. And that just misses. 3-0. Is in for a strike. Third inning brought to you by Fay Trim Aluminum and Siding. Quality above all else. And now Juan steps off. Here's the 3-1. And that's hit a long way, but foul. And I tell you, Juan Benitez is lucky that that umpire is not calling him out for that jersey, because it is untucked in the back. There are other umpires that would be a little harsher on that. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ethan Hammond at the plate, Juan Benitez on the mound.
Like you said he had you out a warning for it in London last year.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a case of
They actually
home team versus road team.
Yeah, they stopped. Well, I don't know if the umpires would show that kind of preferential treatment. They're not supposed to anyway. As Juan misses, shows frustration on the mound. It's ball 4, and he'll have to face Pompey. So I doubt it's home team versus road team. I think it might be just different umpires. But in that game in London, they actually stopped the game for a minute, made him tuck in his jersey on the mound before continuing. So I think over anything, it's probably just that this particular set of umpires really doesn't care that much.
I doubt it as well. I mean, it's just speculation, of course.
I think that would be a big story if that were the case. So I doubt it's the case. First pitch to Pompey is a strike. Here's the 0-1. Up and away. Pompey homered his first time up. A huge home run to right field over the head of Starlin Rodriguez. Only had to take a couple of steps before deciding that he didn't really have to bother going for that one. Here's the 1-1. That's inside.
If this was a later game situation with Pompey up and 2 runners on, let's say if it was in the 7th inning or 8th inning, I wouldn't be surprised to see an intentional walk in this situation.
Pompey was really struggling coming into that first at-bat, hitting only 173 with no home runs on the season. As he takes a pitch that is a little too close to the zone, count even now at 2. But it was not fooled by that pitch from Benitez.
As much as the guy may be struggling throughout the start of the year, if you hit a home run like he did in that first inning, that shows what he can do.
And that's inside, 3-2. Another full count. It was a full count last time against Pompey. That's when he hit that big home run. Here it comes. Got him! And that'll end the inning. Pompey goes down swinging. And the Baycats hold on to a 2-1 lead after the top of the third. Heading to the bottom half of the inning, it is 2-1. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Carson Burns leading things off in the last of the fourth inning. Facing off against Yomar Concepcion, who has not had his sharpest stuff tonight. Currently trailing by 4 runs to the Baycats. First pitch to Burns, and that's a strike.
Carson Burns coming into tonight, hitting an even 200 right at the Mendoza line. 2 for 10 over his first 4 games this year.
He's improved that today with an RBI double. That was in the second inning. That gets away from Hern. And we remind you that if you come to Vintage Throne Stadium and you get a foul ball, you can exchange it for $2 at the front desk area. That's inside 2-1. And there's a strike, 2-2. Noel McGarry Doyle on deck. And that's outside. Count now 3-2. First time Burns is bat today with the bases empty. Of course, leading off the inning this time. 7 batters got to the plate in the third inning, and Barrie scored 3 times. And that's way outside ball 4. Baycats had a base runner in every inning so far today.
Carson Burns worked that at-bat well. He was able to find the far outside pitches very easily.
Update on the out-of-town scoreboard. Kitchener now leading Hamilton 6-2, as all 6 teams tonight are now on the board. And Welland up on Brantford 10-1. So, pretty sure we know which way that Welland-Brantford game's going to go. That's fouled away by McGarry Doyle. Right now, Guelph really struggling overall. They're at the bottom of the standings, tied with Brantford coming into today. And if the scores stand, they will still be tied at the bottom. Coming into today, Toronto leading the standings with a 6-2 record. They're one of the 2 teams not playing tonight, along with the London Majors. That's outside, 1-1. Burns takes his lead off first. Now pickoff play over at first, and they got him. And Burns appeared to get it back in plenty of time, so he must have missed the base. I'm not quite sure what happened there. So Burns dove back, and he did not reach the base.
Also seemed like he didn't quite pick up Concepcion stepping off the rubber in time. Bit of a late attempt to even get back in the first place.
So now a different dynamic for McGarry Doyle. Nobody on base. Here's the 1-1, fouls it away. So Burns picked off first base. And that's a Mistake you don't really want to see if you're the Baycats, where every base runner is going to count. This is a key game for the Barrie squad. Trying to get back to 500. Barrie opened the season 2-0 and have since dropped 3 straight. And they say when. McGarry Doyle down on strikes.
From our vantage point, I'm not sure if he went all the way around, but obviously the third base umpire had a better vantage point from us.
Kenise Eo's gone from Barbie to Johnny Cash mid-game.
I think they're still working out what fits for him.
Well, he's 2 for 2. Well, he's been on base twice with Barbie as the walk-up. Count 1-0 to Kenise Eo. He's walked and tripled with Barbie as the walk-up. If I had walked and tripled with a walk-up, I'd be a little annoyed that it was changed.
I would be too.
Ground ball to third. And that will end the inning. A 1-2-3. We got a leadoff base runner for Barrie, but he was picked off. And we head to the 5th inning here on Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Anderson, and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Former Baycat Michael Chiquetto will lead things off for the Baycats here in the 5th inning. 5th inning brought to you by Eats All Paving for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for almost 40 years because you deserve the best. Chiquetto 0 for 1 against Benitez, and he taps that one to the right side, foul. We were talking about walk-up songs a little bit earlier. Julius, you've got a bit of a story for that.
Yeah, this is not a me story, but my best friend, he's a pitcher at Laurentian University, and he came into the 2022 season.
Ground ball, Lacasse. Third base, over to first. Got him! Oh, what a play, Marcel Lacasse. Robbing his former teammate, one away.
Anyway, so my friend, he came into basically a redshirt freshman year, 2021, in the fall, because this actual freshman year would have been canceled by pandemic.
Right.
But the pre-existing players on the team had a rule. All of the pre-existing players got to pick all the rookies' walk-up songs, or in his case, entrance songs, because he would come out of the bullpen.
Right.
And my friend had long curly hair at the time, so They gave him the walk-up song "Long Hair." I forget who it's by.
Left field. McGarry Doyle moving over, under it, and he makes the catch. 2 out.
And there are a couple other guys that were given, silly songs like the Barbie song, but not exactly like that. Like I think someone was given the Baby Shark one, like Gerardo Paro. We've seen him with the Nationals.
I feel like Baby Shark's in rotation here for some of the rookies too.
Yeah?
I think so.
And eventually this year in his junior year, he finally got to choose his own walk-up song, and he chose Eminence Front by The Who.
Okay.
And honestly, I think that one really fits him, and it just fits as a great walk-up song.
What would your walk-up song be?
I'm a big music guy. I have no idea.
Okay.
That's
the same. I probably have kind of a boring answer. Pitch to Corey Morrow, by the way, is just up high. I would probably pick some. I play a lot of baseball video games over the years, so I have songs that I associate with baseball. So it would probably be something off of one of those.
Fair enough.
Pitch from Juan, fouled away sharply, hits the screen.
Yeah, I'm a huge music guy. I played in bands and stuff in high school. I've always had a large variety of music that I listen to, and I can never just pick one.
Fair. Here's a 2-1 from Juan. And that's a strike, 2-2. See, I always ask that question because it's a good question to ask. And I've asked it on the road, and I've asked it to Ben here when we were first starting out as a commentary duo. And the trick to asking it is to frame it in a way where you don't have to answer it yourself. Morrow threw for a hit. So I've never answered the question. But I've asked it to about 10 different broadcasters now.
I think that's fair. I think it's also fun for your teammates to pick it for you. In the case of my friend at Laurentian.
The shortstop, number 5, Brando LaRue.
You just have to make sure your teammates don't pick something with a lot of swear words in it to try and get you in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they send it with your name on it. Brando LaRue takes the ball up high.
I always find it funny if your teammates would pick something that is totally doesn't fit your personality at all.
Fouled straight back. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you in the broadcast booth. Ben Davy on assignment today. Brian Backland is our producer. Joseph Nardella back there as well. Dan Miller working on a whole bunch of things back there. Gary Mason is our statistician. Rob Daniels, our public address announcer. And then we've got Dylan Quinn helping out with a bunch of things, including social media. And Bob Hurley on the field, our photographer. It is 5-1 for the Barrie Baycats here in the top of the 5th inning. Juan Benitez throwing really well out there on the hill. A runner on first, 2 outs. Brando LaRue at the plate. Counting at 2-2.
As it starts to cool down here at Vintage Throne Stadium, we're starting to see a little bit of a foggy haze just above the grass out in center field.
Should mention as well James Henderson, who's working on behind-the-scenes stats for us, says that is strike 3. And one more shout-out to Sam O'Coin. You can read his recap after the game. And he'll be talking about how well Juan Benitez has done through 5. Baycats coming up when we return on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Henderson, and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Sitting for the Baycats, right fielder number 34, James Anderson.
James Anderson hits his first at-bat of the day after Starlin Rodriguez left the game with looked like a wrist injury after being hit by a pitch. Yomar Concepcion still out on the mound. He has thrown the first 4 innings today, coming in for his 5th. Righty-righty matchup. And the first pitch to Anderson is down low.
You mentioned Concepcion having gone 4 innings already. Yuki Narita up in the bullpen for the Guelph Royals.
This would be Narita's 5th appearance of the year. He has yet to give up a run, so tough pitcher out there for Guelph. A right-hander from Japan. Count 2-0. Feels like an increase of players from Japan or who have Japanese heritage across the IBL over the last couple of seasons, which is pretty cool to see. 3 balls, no strikes. And there is strike 1.
James Anderson coming into tonight is 5 for 15 through his first 5 games with 2 RBI.
And that's outside, ball 4. So Anderson on base with a walk.
The designated hitter number 27, Ryan Rio.
And the on-base streak continues for the Baycats. They've had at least 1 base runner in every single inning so far. And now Ryan Rio, who is 1 for 2.
And that hit he had earlier in the game, an RBI single in the first inning to tie the ball game.
That's outside. As the sun sets here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Nice crowd here tonight. I was a little worried because there were some traffic closures near the ballpark for a lot of today, but they opened up about an hour and a half before game time. So it made it a lot easier for people to get here to the ballpark. Of course, if you're ever unable to make it to the ballpark, we are here for you with our selection of different cameras and graphics and announcers. Every home game on Baycats TV throughout the year, along with select road games on Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV.
It's going to sound really weird, but if I, like a dream I have, not really a dream, but like something I really want to do is to go to like a major league game and bring a radio and just listen to the radio broadcast as I'm watching the game.
I don't think that's weird at all.
Because I feel like that's just so old school and cool.
Well, if you want and I'm biased here as a San Francisco Giants fan, but if you want a really old school vibe when you go to the ballpark, Toronto and San Francisco are facing off, and there's a very good chance John Miller will be calling it on the radio. You'll be able to sit back in the stands, listen to one of baseball's most classic Hall of Fame announcers. 2-1. Fouled away.
Do you remember who won the Ford Frick Award last year?
Pat Hughes.
That's right.
Well, technically this year. He's the most recent recipient.
Right, that's what I meant.
He'll be inducted this summer. Longtime voice of the Chicago Cubs and another one of baseball's all-time great radio broadcasters. Here's the 2-2. Time for Jerry Howarth to get his Ford Frick Award at some point, I think.
I think he's due for one next couple years.
Dan Schulman's been up for nomination.
Yes.
He's another one
I
that
remember seeing that.
I think is very deserving. Dwayne Kuiper. A lot of great names on the ballot these last couple of years. Very hard choices for the voters. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rio, hard hit, left field, and just foul. And I mean just. That might have been extra bases.
I'm not sure if Rio's been trying to go the other way more this year, but he certainly has been able to hit the ball hard the other way consistently this season.
Well, Rio does not have plus speed, so hitting it that way gives him a better opportunity at extra bases, you would think.
And they're not overshifting him, so
2
similar
balls,
defense.
2 strikes. Hit up the middle. Williams under it, and it drops. That's a base hit for Ryan Rio. 2 on with nobody out in the inning.
The 50-50 draw stands at $245 now. You can still get your 50-50 tickets. Last call.
Off to get a 50-50 ticket. We're not allowed, but
Here's the second baseman, number 26.
$250? Is that what I just heard?
Odd.
I think something like that, yeah.
That's pretty good. Here's Adam Odd. You wonder, with 2 on and nobody out, is this Concepcion's last batter with the excellent right-hander in the bullpen, Yuki Narita? That's a ball just missed. A little bit of stirring in the Baycats bullpen, but you figure they want to stick with Benitez as long as they can and give the bullpen a bit of a rest after a few days where it was used quite a bit.
Yeah, I've seen some guys moving around, but nobody's been throwing much at all yet.
They'd like to rest Souls, who is kind of in that middle area between a starter and a reliever right now. He pitched from the rotation his last start, as there's a throwback to second. Back in time is Anderson. But from the bullpen before that. And then there's Christian Mullins' status. We wonder whether he is closer to becoming game ready. We'll have to ask that to Josh Matlow after the game today.
He seemed like he was feeling good today. He was in uniform.
With Souls pitching so well out of the rotation, and even though he wasn't in the rotation for that excellent game earlier this year, he might as well have been. He came in the first inning and then pitched the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think so far he's earned his spot.
With that being the case, you almost wonder if they ease Mullen back into action starting from the bullpen.
You know, I think that's definitely a possibility. I think that's something we very well might see in the near future as Mullen comes back from what seemed to be just a shoulder injury, just taken out of that game as a precaution.
Count even at 2. Adam Ott from Yomar Concepcion. Kicks, throws. Hit up the middle, base hit. Past the shortstop LaRue. Rounding third is Anderson. He's going to come in to score. It's an RBI single for Adam Ott. 3 straight base runners in the inning. Still nobody out. Rio up to second. And now, with Lacasse coming up, the left-handed hitter, Dino Ramel is calling for the right-hander Yuki Narita from the bullpen. So Narita coming in. We'll pause for a moment here on Baycats TV and on Rogers TV. And Barry, come back, tell you more about him. Concepcion leads with 2 base runners that are his responsibility on base, and Barry's up 6-1. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barry on Rogers TV. Welcome back. Vintage Throne Stadium in Barrie. Yuki Narita in. And Julius, through 4 games in his IBL career, Yuki Narita has been excellent. 6 strikeouts in 7 innings, only the 3 hits. He's 0-1, but only because of an unearned run impacting a 4-inning appearance, which was last time out. He has been really good for these Guelph Royals.
Yeah, absolutely. Very solid performer here for the Royals, and this is his first IBL season. Just some bad luck, especially in that last appearance against Welland on May 27th.
First pitch to Lacasse down low.
But
he's essentially getting a fresh inning, although there are 2 base runners on. Fresh inning in terms of outs. There's nobody out.
7 innings pitched over 4 appearances this year. 0-1 with a 0 ERA. Again, just some bad luck in his last performance.
We were talking in the break. The way they teach pitching motions in Japan is very distinctive compared to how they teach pitching motions here. So the way Narita pitches, it's distinctively Japanese taught, I think.
Yes, absolutely. You can really just see it in his delivery. Some angled, the leg that he lifts, his left leg, and angled, pointing towards center field. Then he twists more towards second base. You don't really see that a lot in North American pitchers. A lot of North American pitchers have much more of a straighter posture and not much of a twist.
Hern threatens to throw over to first. Ott dives back in without a throw. Here in the last of the 5th inning, Baycats up by 5. Narita comes home. There's a strike. Narita counts under the import player rule that the IBL has. He is from Japan. Looks back at the runner at second, that's Rio. Now comes home and a big swing and a miss to get Lacasse. And there's 1 out in the inning. And with that, he's already tied Concepcion in strikeouts. By the way, Concepcion ends today pitching 4+, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 3 walks, only the 1 strikeout, faced 23 hitters, and he threw 87 pitches.
Concepcion forcing 7 groundouts today in his appearance of 4+ innings pitched.
Here's Josh Cote. Big swing and a miss. Narita's got the heat going right now. This guy's been very, very good, as mentioned. Trying to keep this game close for a Guelph Royals offense that is, on paper, one of the better offenses in the IBL. It has just not been that way throughout this year so far. The Royals have really struggled.
Aiden Russell now throwing in the Barrie Baycats bullpen.
That's a new kind of bug that just flew by me. It's coming in your direction.
He's a lefty too, so it would go 470 feet that way.
Russell hoping for a bounce-back outing after that game in Hamilton did not go his way.
That was a nice block there from Hern.
He's been good tonight. Keeping the ball in front of him.
That was close to getting through his legs, but he managed to keep it beneath him.
They got that pick off over at first. 2-1. Ahead of Cote, 2-2.
That was a big cut. Fastball right in the middle of the zone.
Remember when I said that I think we had one more game before the Mosquitoes?
Yep.
They're out.
You jinxed us.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Kicks comes home. Got him. And he just overpowered Cote in that at-bat. Second strikeout in as many batters for Narita.
Cote was visibly late on that strikeout pitch there from Narita. Cote with some strong hacks in the plate appearance, but wasn't able to make any contact.
Narita went to that pitch 3 times in that at-bat, got 3 swinging strikes. So here's Tibbetts.
Yeah, really not afraid to challenge the hitters in the heart of the plate. Let's see what he can do with Josh Tibbetts here.
Tibbetts 0 for 2. Flew out and grounded out. First pitch well inside. a walk and 2 singles from Concepcion in this inning. Narita has managed to keep the runners at first and second, struck out the first 2 batters he sees, and now working on Tibbetts. Count now 2-0 to Josh. You wonder, Josh Matlow says he likes to make 1 appearance a year. You wonder if he sets it up later this year in his 1 appearance to have 3 Joshes in the batting order back to back to back.
I love to see that. That would be amazing.
Three balls, no strikes to Josh Tibbetts. Carson Burns is on deck. Looks back, now comes home. That's a strike, 3-1. Baycats fans didn't like it. Sure looked like a strike from this angle.
Tibbetts 0 for 2 so far tonight, but both very hard hit balls. A line out to center in the second and a ground out to second.
And that's ball 4. So after 2 strikeouts, Tibbetts is the second walk of the inning across Concepcion and Narita, and the bases are loaded for Carson Burns, who already has an RBI double tonight.
Carson Burns.
High leverage situation for Carson Burns here. High leverage situation on the mound for Yuki Narita. First pitch outside, ball 1.
That walk to Tibbetts was Narita's 4th walk allowed this season, and this is his 5th appearance of the season.
Now, I'm going to ask you, why did he go away from the fastball that overpowered Cote so much in that Tibbetts at-bat?
Maybe it's something that he knows Burns has had that hard hit double in the second inning, or maybe he's just pressuring him off the plate a little bit.
Burns left center field. It's going to get down. Williams fields it on a hop. Rio in. Odd in. Over to third goes Tibbetts. Carson Burns, 2 more RBI.
Left fielder number 95, Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Runners were off with 2 out, and the ball dropped in front of J.D. Williams. And it's the 3rd RBI of the night for Carson Burns on that single. And they hand it off back to the top of the order, and Noel McGarry-Doyle with a runner in scoring position and another one at first.
Both those runs are going to be charged to Concepcion as they were inherited by Narita.
So that's 8 runs all earned off Concepcion, who was not at his sharpest tonight.
And Josh Tibbetts almost gunned down at third there. It was a very close play and a strong throw from J.D. Williams.
Baycats can feel good about this. Concepcion's a guy who has experience in Taiwan's baseball league, which is a tough pitcher's environment. And he's safe at first on a ground ball. Tibbetts scores, Burns up to second. An infield single for McGarry-Doyle, and now Eo comes up. And they gave him the Barbie music because that's what he did so well with. The triple in the 3rd inning. And the Baycats a batter away from batting around. This is the 9th hitter of the inning.
With Tibbetts scoring there, that's going to be the first earned run allowed this season by Yuki Narita.
Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Pitch to Eo. Down and away.
It's such a great sign to see that the Baycats can have such a great rally like this, all with 2 outs.
Some of the fans have their phones out, hoping for a big moment. 1 ball, no strikes. Yuki Narita, against Canis Eo. See, that's what I'm worried about with the Rio Eo thing. Count now 1-1.
I just thought it was a ball. Yeah.
Let's do that again. Yuki Narita, Canis Eo. Ground ball, third base, and foul.
Eo having a strong debut with the Baycats tonight. It's 1 for 2 with a triple and a walk, as well as a stolen base in the first inning.
Righty-righty matchup. Narita's pitch. That's strike 3. Eo down on strikes. Looking, and although the inning is over, the Baycats send 9 hitters to the plate and now lead 9-1. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Two out, runners lead. There they go. Here's the pitch. This one rocked to right field.
Want to come to a Baycats game? Check out our tickets at barriebaycats.com.
Score at least 2. Tuck is in to score. Rio behind him.
'Aiden Russell takes the mound for the Barrie Baycats. Here in the top of the 6th inning, Russell has been on top of the leaderboards for the Baycats in ERA each of the last 2 years, 2.11 in 2022, a 1.80 in 2021. And although the last outing was a little bit rougher for him, he got the loss in Hamilton. Josh Matlow throwing him right back out there for a rebound outing. And Julius, what more can we say about how well Juan Benitez rebounded after that first inning home run?
Juan Benitez pitched excellently. He was able to keep the ball out of the air for the most part of the game. There a lot of groundouts on both sides of each inning during this ball game. Kept his pitch count down, used his pitch mix very well. Had some struggles earlier on with his breaking pitches, but managed to settle it down. And it goes a strong 5 innings in this ball game.
Out of town scoreboard update. Welland and Kitchener are beating Brantford and Hamilton by a combined 28-3. It's 14-1 and 14-2. So those games are nice and close. So is this one, except we like this one being being not close. Barrie up by 8 right now as we enter the 6th inning, brought to you by Beating the Odds Autism Center and Farm, where teaching is brought to nature. That's up high. Russell pitching with a big lead. Benitez, in his first appearance of the year, went 5 innings, giving up only 3 hits, 1 run, struck out 3. Ground ball takes a weird hop on Adam Ott and hops right over him. The ball pretended it was a rabbit there for a moment.
I can't remember seeing a hop like that at this ballpark, at least. That was wicked.
So that has to be a hit. That's not Ott's fault. Hammond on base to lead off the inning. Here's Tristan Pompey, seeing a lefty for the first time, so he moves over to the right-handed batter's box. Switch hitting Pompey. First pitch, down and away.
Russell had a tough outing on Sunday against Hamilton, but on the year, he's 0 for 1 with a 3.00 ERA and 3 innings pitched with 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 4 hits allowed.
That's it to left. Did he get another one? McGarry Doyle back. So is Eo. Eo moves over and makes the catch. Pompey just missed one. Kenise Eo making the catch, and there is one out.
Might have been a case of a bit of miscommunication out in left center field, but Kenise Eo managed to make that catch.
Eo and McGarry Doyle have not played in a game together before today. Pitch by Russell is up high, just going to get into the strike zone. J.D. Williams down 0-1. Williams, Eo's counterpart out there in center field tonight. Now 0-2, foul tip into the glove. Runner on first, one out here in the 6th inning. Kicks, comes home. And that just misses 1-2. Russell's still one of the youngest Baycats on the team, despite this being his 3rd year with the team. He was born in 2002. Kicks, comes home. And that's fouled straight back. Remains 1-2. After Williams, it'll be Herenque, then Roberts, and Chiquetto. Left field, base hit. That gets down for J.D. Williams, and that's 2 base runners here in the 6th inning. On a couple of singles, Hammond moves up to second, and that'll bring up Herenque.
Catcher number 48, Tony Herenque.
You mentioned Russell being one of the younger Baycats. It's incredible to me to think that Josh Tibbetts turned 19 last week.
Yep. I told Ben, and I say this in a really nice way, all the positives. Josh Tibbetts almost looks like he's 10 years older than he is out there. Just the maturity, both offensively and defensively, and as a teammate. But with all of the pluses that come with someone who looks like he's 29, come all the pluses with someone who's actually 19.
Yeah, exactly. Tons of potential with Josh Tibbetts.
Left field, McGarry Doyle moves in, makes the catch, and his range out there is just unbelievable. He was playing in the right spot and made it look easy. 2 out.
That ball looked like it was going to drop, but it just hung up out there for McGarry Doyle out in left field.
So here's Roberts, the first baseman. He's 0 for 2. Lefty-lefty matchup, favorable for the Baycats. Russell coming in from that tough angle. By the way, there's some, it's not bad news, but it's not good news for the Baycats either. If you remember a couple years ago, that lefty London had, who came in from just a crazy angle and really had a ton of deception. His name's Jared Lund. He was a 1 or 2 inning reliever a couple years ago. He's a starter now.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And he looks great for the London Majors. So let's hope when the Baycats face off against the Majors, they maybe skip his turn in the rotation, because that's going to be a tough matchup for anybody. Left center field, Eo moving in, and it's going to bounce down in between the shortstop, left fielder, and center fielder. A run's going to come around to score. That's Hammond. And it's 9-2. Up to second goes the speedy Williams. Roberts on base for the first time today.
44, Mike Chiquetto.
So now 0 for 2. Here's Michael Chiquetto.
You're talking about Jared Lund. Really sounds like the traits of a pitcher you might see as a closer, not a starter.
And he looked like that kind of deceptive closer when we saw him, but now he's been stretched out and he's got all the deception except for a longer time. starting games. So
that's why you see guys in the majors like Josh Hader and
yep.
the Rogers brothers.
Now, the bright side of Lund being an excellent starter is that's great for Canadian baseball and great for the league.
Yes.
The downside is the Baycats might have to face him. Yeah, Josh Hader's a good comp.
Because when you're seeing a guy throw over the top throughout the game, it's so different to see a guy coming in from a different angle. It's really hard to pick up, one, where the ball's coming from, and two, where the ball's, like, the direction of the spin on the ball.
Well, that's why Aaron Loop keeps getting so many chances with MLB teams, even though he's had varying levels of success throughout his MLB career.
I think as a whole, throughout his career, he's gotten better.
He has. He's become a very effective reliever since leaving the Blue Jays, where he was mostly effective, but the times he wasn't kind of stuck out to a lot of Jays fans.
Wasn't he an All-Star last year or the year before?
2022 All-Star, I believe, yeah. But you're right. The closers tend to be the ones with the weird deliveries, or the late-inning relievers at minimum. Chiquetto in a 1-2 count against Aiden Russell, who's another guy that might be a future closer. More of a one-inning guy coming in from that lefty. But the reason, really, they can't make him a closer right now is, A, they want to see if they can lengthen him out as a younger pitcher, and B, he's the only lefty coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, you need that versatility and playing the percentages here throughout the game. You need to have him available at any point.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Comes home. Big swing and a miss. Chiquetto down on strikes. He's 0 for 3. And the Baycats get out of the jam, only allowing 1 run. Still up 9-2 as we head to the last of the 6th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
James Anderson coming up.
The 6th inning for the
Bottom of the
Baycats,
6th.
Right fielder number 34, James Anderson.
Baycats have a 7-run lead here at Vintage Throne Stadium in what has been a very nice comeback game after that loss in Hamilton did not go their way. It was a come-from-behind win by the Cardinals. First pitch up and in to James Anderson. This is Anderson's second at-bat after Rodriguez left the game with a wrist injury. We saw him come back to the dugout with a bit of a, I don't know if it wasn't a full cast or anything, but his wrist was wrapped up. So it's a fairly significant injury, you'd think.
Definitely good to stabilize that injury, especially so soon.
You wonder if it's a sprain. You just hope none of those little bones around the hand are broken.
Yes, exactly. There's not a whole lot of meat in that area, so not a whole lot of padding on the arm. But
count 2-1. Rodriguez, a key part of this team this year, already has a couple home runs. Sanderson hits one to right field. Moving over is Pompey. He's going to be the one making the catch next to J.D. Williams, and that's the first out.
The designated hitter number 27, Ryan Rio.
Rio's been on base 2 of 3 times today.
Yep, 2 singles and an RBI. That RBI coming in the first inning. He scored in the 5th.
Guelph scored their first run in the first and then didn't score again until the top of the 6th inning. Baycats scored every inning except the 4th and this one. And they've had a base runner in every inning so far. So hoping to keep that going. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Narita paused in the middle of his delivery, comes home. Rio grounds to first. Stepping on the bag is Roberts, 2 out. Seems like Narita he's good all the time, but he seems to be more locked in when the bases are empty.
Yeah, absolutely. I think coming into
that
tough inning where there's 2 runners on, he struck out the first 2 batters he faced, but after that, I think the message got around in the dugout that, kind of the kind of stuff that he was going to be throwing, and they took advantage of it.
To the plate, and that's a strike to Adam Ott.
Odd 1 for 2 so far, scored twice. Had a walk in the
on
fifth.
to right and crushed. Way out. Adam Ott's 3rd time on base today is a massive home run, and it's 10-2 for the Baycats.
I think he found his confidence. That ball was out of here in a hurry.
Number 13, Marcel Lacasse.
Adam Ott.
And Barrie is seeing Adam Ott, the really, really, really good ball player, at his full strength tonight.
Yeah, like I said, that double earlier in the ball game really boosted his confidence.
First pitch to Marcel Lacasse is a ball, 1-0.
And he got all of that baseball. That ball was out in a hurry. And we saw all the kids racing around beyond the right field fence to get that baseball.
And that's up and away. First home run given up by Narita this season. Count 2-0 to Marcel Lacasse. Check swing, they go to third and they say he didn't go. Jared Merkley with the quick ball call there. Like to see that. Three 0. And that's strike 1. Kicks comes home. And there's strike 2. So from 3-0 to 3-2, Narita battling back. Still thinking about that Adam Ott home run. That might have gone into one of the other minor baseball diamonds around here.
I was afraid he was going to hit the scoreboard. That ball was on a frozen rope to right field.
There's a walk to Marcel Lacasse, another base runner on for Josh Cote.
Catcher number 5, Josh Cote.
Cote has a couple of singles. He's also scored a run today. Narita has thrown 38 pitches coming into this at-bat. Fouled away. And the race is on to go get that ball.
It's pretty fun to see. Like I said earlier in the ballgame, it's great to see that the Baycats have been able to score most of their runs tonight, all but 2 outs. They managed to keep pressure on with base runners.
There have been double-digit runs in all 3 IBL games tonight from the leading team. So a lot of offense across the league tonight. Here's the 1-1. Cote pops it up really high. Moving in is Roberts. Now moving to his side, and he can't get it. And it's a fair ball, maybe. Yes, it's going to be a fair ball.
It's going to be an error on the first baseman, Roberts. I'm not sure if he lost that one in the lights, but that's a play that's got to be made for the Guelph Royals. And that ball, unfortunately for Guelph, just fell into fair territory.
Lacasse up to second on the play. And now 2 runners on with 2 out for Josh Tibbetts. And seeing as, I mean, you don't want to interrupt the offense being hot tonight, but seeing as Tibbetts and Murray are in a bit of a battle for playing time with the big lead, I'm almost surprised we're not seeing half of Tibbetts in this game and now Murray coming in and playing the other half.
Now that you say that, I think this might be Tibbetts' last at-bat of the game, just for the sake of getting Murray some time at the plate.
I bet you're right. Can't add 2-0 to Josh Tibbetts. Looks back at second, now comes home. Heat upstairs in the zone, and I'm really, really surprised Narita has not brought out that pitch more after it was so effective when he first entered the game.
Yeah, me too. And Tibbetts put a really good swing on that, just couldn't connect.
2-1. And that's the story with that fastball up in the zone. I mean, it looks so juicy for the hitter, but by the time a lot of them have gotten to it, it's been by them.
Yeah, exactly. It's natural for a hitter to want to take a swing at a high pitch because the ball is just so close to your eyes. It looks bigger relative to it being anywhere else in the zone.
The out-of-town scoreboard just refreshed in front of me, and you won't believe this, but this is the closest game of the night by far. Welland's beating Brantford 17-1. Kitchener's beating Hamilton 15-2. So, if you want close IBL action, we're the spot to be tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Kicks, comes home. And that is strike 3. Tibbetts down on strikes looking, and that'll end the inning. But the Baycats add another on a massive home run from Adam Odd. We head to the 7th, Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Muskoka.ca.
Some defensive changes for the Baycats, as we're just going to try and get all of them to you. The one we've noticed right now is that Victor Plaus has taken over at first base. Russell's back out there for inning number 2, which is a big deal for the Baycats, actually, because getting him stretched out a little more this year has been a key emphasis for the team. Almost all 1-inning appearances in the career of Aiden Russell, a couple of 2 innings, but they really want to get him 2-3 innings and get him into the games more.
This is a great opportunity in an 8-run ball game to stretch him out a little bit, let him see a bit, some more hitters, some different hitters. More experience, the better in the long run.
Count now 0-2 to Darius Barless. Now 1-2. 7th inning, brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca. 1-2. On the ground. Burns rushing in. Burns throwing to first. Plaus making the catch. 1 out.
The second baseman, number 3, Corey Morrow.
So now here's Corey Morrow. Morrow, 1 for 2 so far today. A single in the 5th, a fly out in the 3rd. There's a ball to Morrow from Russell. Just want to give a shout out to the Baycats staff setting up the brand new shop inside the park this year. You can see it on the left side of your screen where they've got the hats up there and they've got some jerseys and shirts, and it looks really great and it's run really well. We've got new era caps up there, so if you come to the ballpark, say hi to them and look at what they've got to sell over there, because it really, they do good work. Left field, or excuse me, left side. Lacasse has got it. Throw on to first. 2 out. If you're listening in the background, that was on the ground to the third base side. Just to clarify.
The shortstop, number 5, Brando LaRue.
Here's Brando LaRue. He's 1 for 3. Fourth time through the batting order, for the Barrie Baycats against the Guelph Royals today. LaRue officially 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 3rd, got all the way up to 2nd on that error from the shortstop, Carson Burns. Count now 1-1.
Struck out his last time up. That was the last batter faced for starter Juan Benitez.
Some stirring in the Baycats bullpen right now. Nobody throwing super seriously, though. There is a right-hander up. Big swing and a miss. Pitch up in the zone to LaRue.
That's Chris Cox up in the Barrie bullpen.
One ball, 2 strikes. Hits a right field. Moving over is Anderson. He's under it. Makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning will take me out to the ball game at the ballpark, and see you in a moment. Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in and the
Hard body, and
and the score is James Anderson and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Number 3, Carson Burns.
Last of the 7th inning here in Vintage Throne Stadium in Barrie. Technically it's a little just outside Barrie, but I like to say in Barrie because it sounds a little bigger, and it's the Barrie Baycats.
I don't disagree with you.
First pitch to Carson Burns, just up and in. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you on the microphones. Brian Backland, Joseph Nardella in the production room. Ben Davy on assignment today. You'll hear him next Thursday. Julius and I are headed on the road this weekend. A couple of road games. The Baycats will be playing once against Guelph. That's Saturday, so it's a home and home. And then once against Kitchener, which is right near Guelph. Can't have 3-0 to Carson Burns as Yuki Narita struggling to find the strike zone here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Looks like Christian Mullen has joined Chris Cox in the Barrie bullpen.
Good to see Mullen back throwing, whether he's going to come in the game or whether it's just a bullpen session. Three and 1 to Burns. And that's ball 4. So now Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Carson Burns has been on base now all 4 times he's been up today. A single, a double, and 2 walks.
He's a contender for the player of the game, but I don't think he wins player of the game right now. It's got to be Adam Odd, right?
I think it should be Adam Odd.
I would agree with that.
Adam Odd 2 for 3, a double, home run, a walk, scored 3 times.
Have you been to Kitchener or Guelph stadiums yet?
I hadn't been to any of the road stadiums until we went to Hamilton on Sunday.
Hamilton, they had redone the stadium, and it was really, really nice.
It was actually, it looked really vibrant.
Yeah, they've done a really, and I mentioned this on Twitter. First off, I thanked the media team there because they made it super welcoming. It was really, really nice to come in and do a road game. And secondly, I praise all of their staff because the stadium looks great. They've got new ads in the outfield. They've painted pretty much the entire thing. They put up all the new branding. They have like an inflatable glove, a big one with the Hamilton logo on the baseball. Like, it looks phenomenal. A huge upgrade from last year.
Everything looks amazing. It's very fan-friendly. It's a great experience.
Unfortunately, their team is currently down 15-2 to the Kitchener Panthers, but that's in Kitchener, so the stadium gets a pass. 1-2 on the ground, foul. Mark Perry on the call for that one. You'll get to meet Mark when you go to Kitchener.
Awesome.
Super nice guy. We are shifting from last year, by the way, our Kitchener. We teamed up with Mark for a partner broadcast last year. This year we're going to have our own Baycats radio broadcast on Baycats TV. So we hope you can join us for that. That's outside, 2-2. Noel McGarry-Doyle got on base with the singles last time up. Back with the Baycats for the first time today after re-signing the offseason as he swings and misses there. That's strike 3. Here's Eo.
That was a tough swing from McGarry Doyle. Low and away pitch from Narita. McGarry Doyle really reaching that ball in the dirt.
EO is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run and a stolen base using this walk-up song. He's 0 for 1 using Johnny Cash. You'll have to ask him about that post-game.
Yeah, I think I will.
0 and 1. That's fouled off the catcher's mask. Looks like the mask got the impact there, so Renq doing fine behind the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's in the dirt. Gets away, but Renq again, a good job blocking it, holding the runner Burns at first base. And it hasn't been Guelph's night, but one of their positives that they can take out of this game is that Tony Renq has been an excellent defensive catcher.
Yeah, some great blocks. Set a great arm behind the plate, made some pick-off attempts.
Narita to the plate. Grounded to third. Tricky bounce. Second for 1. Back to first. 2. A double play. Heading to the 8th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV and Barrie. Baycats have a big 10-2 lead.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Henderson and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Number 28, Ethan Hammond.
Ethan Hammond will lead things off against Chris Cox, the new pitcher for the Barrie Baycats. Julius?
Yeah, Chris Cox is his second appearance of the season. He had 2 strikeouts and an inning pitched on May 25th against Hamilton. I was here at the home game last Thursday.
First pitch from Cox, outside to Hammond. Hammond struck out in the first, singled in the third, and then singled and scored in the 6th inning. He scored one of the 2 runs that the Royals have. There's a strike. In that 1 inning so far this season, he did walk 1, but he struck out 2.
Gave up 1 hit as well, but managed to work his way through a full inning.
Hammond on the ground, caught by Evan Souls in the Baycats dugout. Nice play.
That was a nice play, barehanded.
One ball, 2 strikes. Crew behind us talking about food. Well, I'm getting progressively hungrier.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. I mean, we smelled the fries in, the 3rd inning?
Yeah.
And it's frowned upon for broadcasters to eat well on the mic. I get it. But I was tempted.
Me too. I think we saw last year, it was with some of the Apple TV MLB broadcasts where they would bring something like that was like a delicacy at a particular ballpark into the booth.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I've seen the Arizona broadcast do that. I've seen Dan Schulman and John Kruk do that back when they were with ESPN. They did the game from the bleachers in right field at, I think it was Wrigley.
That's cool.
And they were brought food. That'd be fun.
That would be very fun.
It would be harder to see the action from right field, but, you'd have the monitor.
Yeah, exactly.
Chance to catch a ball.
Imagine getting to call a home run that was hit right at you.
It's like that clip from the minor league broadcaster that went viral a couple years ago, and I make the play. There's a strikeout. Hammond down on strikes for the 2nd time today.
Right fielder number 17, Tristan.
Here's Tristan Pompey. Pompey hasn't done a whole lot since the home run in the 1st inning, but that's, since the home run in the 1st inning, which was the 2nd hardest home run hit in this game.
He's back hitting from the left-handed batter's box after hitting from the right-handed batter's box against Aiden Russell.
And you don't see too many switch hitters in the IBL, so it brings a unique element to have a guy like Pompey toward the top of your batting order.
Yes, absolutely. Very interesting. I love seeing switch hitters and what they do.
Were you a switch hitter?
I was not, but
foul ball.
I would always try it in BP and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried at just in my front yard when I was a kid, switch hitting. And I found I hit the ball really hard. I had a lot more power from the left side, but my contact was so far down that it wasn't worth it.
If I hit like grounders and say like pregame warm-ups, sometimes I would just use one hand and it would be my right hand.
Yep.
So I'd be hitting from the opposite side but one-handed.
Here's the 1-1 from Cox. And that's a strike, 1-2. You didn't miss that one by much. Count even at 2. Kicks, throws. That's going to make it a full count. So from 1-2 to 3-2. A lot of fans sticking around here in the late innings to watch Barrie in the lead, 10-2 here at Vintage Throne Stadium. That's hit to Adam Odd, who can't find it in his glove, and it gets by him. So a base hit for Tristan Pompey. So a base runner with one on and an error on Adam Odd. So correct that from a base hit to an error in your scorebook.
That ball might have crossed up Adam Odd a little bit. Lucky he was preparing to catch it, but also like he was going to take it on a short hop, and he just couldn't make a commitment either way.
So now runner on for J.D. Williams. And even though it's a 10-2 game, you do not want to play around with it. You want to keep the lead nice and big.
Yeah, anything can happen in baseball.
Brantford and Hamilton are both now up to 5 runs. So now they're only down by 10 and 12. So that's something. Popped up real high. Claws under it. Calls everybody off. Makes the catch. 2 out. So we were right on saying that would be Tibbett's last at-bat last time up, but it was Victor Plaus coming in, making his Baycats debut instead of Dom Moran.
Catcher number 48, Tony Hern.
So now here's Tony Hern. 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. 8th inning brought to you by Expedia Cruises in Barrie, Airland at Sea Vacations. And that's down and in to Hern.
Start him out with a curveball there. A lot of break low.
Hern only 1 for 3, but his impact today has been mostly defensively, and he has looked excellent behind the plate for the Royals. He's one of 4 catchers on the roster, and he's really making a case for himself to be the primary one, just based on his defense alone. Of course, we're seeing this mostly from one game, but it doesn't take long to know whether a catcher is a good defensive catcher or just an average one.
Exactly. And, we'll see the Royals in Guelph on Saturday. You never know if some momentum will carry him through to Saturday. He might be playing the same way as he is tonight.
Ground ball left side. Lacasse on a bounce. From third, long throw. Claus makes the catch. And that will end the inning. Last of the 8th coming up. It's an 8-run lead for the Barrie Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on a Rogers TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Out, runners lead. There they go. Here's the pitch. This one rocked to right field.
Want to come to a Baycats game? Check out our tickets at barriebaycats.com.
Score at least 2. Tuck is in to score. Rio behind him.
Leading off the 8th inning for the Baycats, right fielder number 34, James Anderson.
You heard it from Rob Daniels. James Anderson will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Barrie Baycats. It'll be Anderson and then Rio's spot in the order and then Odd's spot in the order. I say spot in the order because Hayden Jaco is on deck, likely to make his first appearance of the season for the Barrie Baycats. First pitch to Anderson is a strike. Anderson in the game in right field, came in after a hit by pitch in the 3rd inning, forced Starlin Rodriguez out of the game. We hope Starlin's okay. Anderson to left field, not deep. Moving over is Hammond. And it's going to drop. Hammond, LaRue, and Williams all waited for someone else to claim it, and no one did. Leadoff single for Anderson.
That was a perfectly placed ball in shallow left center field. It fell right in between all three defenders, the left fielder, center fielder, and shortstop. Hit just hard enough to split the defense.
55, Hayden Jaco.
Great to see Hayden Jaco in a batter's box for the first time since the 2021 season. Did not play in the IBL last year and has been dealing with knee injuries. And now he's back in the IBL and ready to be a big part of this Baycats team. An extremely talented offensive player and a versatile defender, though primarily a catcher. He was the Rookie of the Year in the league in 2021. First pitch to Jaco, up and in, ball one.
I got to see a little bit of him at batting practice before the game today. And he was hitting the ball real hard. He seemed really confident that he was going to have make a difference offensively.
There's a strike. Can't 0-2.
Obviously, at the time, you didn't know that he was going to be able to make an appearance in this ball game, but really happy to see him out there in the batter's box.
Baycats have 10 runs on 12 hits. They have 2 errors. Royals only have 2 runs on 6 hits. They have an error as well. That's in the dirt. Count now 1-2.
Max Loico throwing in the Baycats bullpen. Looks like we might see him make his first appearance of the season in the 9th inning.
Baycats hoping for a quick top of the 9th and a victory as they head into Guelph, and that's a hit by pitch. And Narita lost control of that one. 2 base runners, hoping for a win heading into Guelph on Saturday. This is a home and home.
The second baseman, number 26, Adam Odd.
And I know that's the second hit by pitch of the game, and the first one did end up injuring Starlin Rodriguez, but I think we can agree that both of those were very clearly unintentional.
Yes, absolutely, and both by different pitchers, and it didn't look like Narita had any intention at all. But
Pinch hitting for the Baycats. Pitch running correction at first base, Evan Souls.
So Evan Souls, who gets a nice round of applause after winning Pitcher of the Week a couple of weeks ago, will pinch run at first base for Jaco, who is still recovering from knee surgery. Adam Odd steps back in. Odd has had the best game of his career as a Baycat so far. A home run and a big double, where he had 2 RBI on it, and a single in the 5th as well. As it stands, he is most likely the player of the game. Pitch coming from Narita inside.
really happy to see this game from Adam Odd. He struggled a little bit coming into this ball game, but was still getting some consistent playing time, and now I think he's really found his niche and is hitting the ball really hard today.
Popped up. Someone needs to call it. It's the shortstop, LaRue, who does. 2 out. Full moon here, by the way.
Third baseman, number 13, Marcel Blackhouse.
Correction, by the way, 1 out. There's a full moon here, which is kind of cool. First time we've seen a full moon at the ballpark this year. So that's a stat we can bring. Under the full moon, Baycats 10 runs, on track for a win.
I like that.
Fouled away to the screen. A puff of dust from the ball goes through the screen. Lacasse walked, got to second his last time up. He's 0 for 3 though. Looking to get in on the party here tonight. There's a strike.
That was his pitch to hit right there. Kind of a low part of the zone, but you know, that's territory where you can really barrel a ball.
Two on, 1 out. Here it comes. And that is strike 3. Cast down, swinging for the second time today, and that'll bring up Dylan Shepard, who came into the game as a defensive replacement in the last half inning for Josh Cote. Cote had a good day at the plate, and now the other young catcher on the squad, Dylan Shepard, gets a chance to bat. And I will remind you that last year, when Dylan Shepard took his first at-bat at Vintage Throne Stadium of the year, left field and gone.
Very impressive what he was able to do last year with very little amount of at-bats that he was given. And
he had that game, and then shortly after that, he injured himself and was out for the season, essentially. Big swing and a miss. Getting at 0-2.
Again, another guy with a lot of potential, especially at the catcher position. This team, not short on catchers by any means, but Dylan Shepard brings some power to that position for sure.
I'll tell you, Julius, I'm underqualified to be a pitching coach, right? So I really can't give this piece of advice. But if I was the Royals pitching coach, I would tell Narita to trust that fastball more than he's trusted that fastball. Because just about every time he's thrown it, it's been an overpowering strike.
I could agree with that, but again, I think you have to look at the situation of the game.
That's strike 3. Shepard down on strikes. Finish your point quick.
Yeah, it's an 8-run ball game. I think this is a good opportunity to mix up some of your pitches that you don't really usually throw in a high leverage situation.
Heading to the 9th inning, 10-2 Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Leading off the 9th inning for the Guelph Royals, first baseman, number 22, Noah Roberts.
Last chance for the Guelph Royals, top of the 9th inning. It'll be Noah Roberts, Michael Chiquetto, and Darius Barlas, a couple of former Baycats in there, and they'll be facing off against current Baycat, Brandon Hillier. Hillier in his 4th outing of the season. He's been good. No runs given up so far.
1-0 with a 0.00 ERA. In 3 innings pitched so far this season, 3 appearances, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk allowed, 2 hits allowed.
9th inning brought to you by Expedia Cruises in Barrie. So Roberts 1 for 3. And then Chiquetto and Barlas a combined 0 for 6 at the bottom of the order. Hillier comes home. Up and away. Can I share a play-by-play quirk that I need to stop doing?
Sure.
Because it's a 10-2 game and Roberts just fouled one off. I feel like today I've said kicks comes home disproportionately more than any of the other ones. And I try to vary it up. And I think I'm going to ban myself from using that on Saturday.
I haven't noticed it a ton, but...
Good. That means I'm the only one thinking about it.
Fair.
So I have like 6 or 7 of those. I try to vary it up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, not every pitch sounds the same. 2-2. That's outside. Shows you how the Baycats are treating this as a high leverage situation, even with the score. They need this win. One of their high leverage relievers on the mound. But that's ball 4 to Roberts. So he'll reach, create a double play situation for Michael Chiquetto.
Designated hitter number 44.
At least that's the hope for the Baycats.
Michael Chiquetto.
The hitter in the situation would not describe it as a double play situation.
No, he's really looking to touch the outfield grass and reach extra bases.
To my knowledge, the split between the Baycats and Michael Chiquetto last year was not a negative one. It was one both teams decided was the best option at the time. But Chiquetto, after being sent down essentially last year, coming back with a different club this year, would love a big hit against Barrie in this game.
Absolutely, especially in Barrie. Wouldn't be anything better here for Michael Chiquetto, especially at this point in the ball game. Would be something to take away and remember from this game here in the 9th inning.
Hillier hoping to avoid it. Chance of let's go Baycats. On the ground, could be 2. Burns on the hop. Gets it to Odd, back to first. Safe at first. But they get the lead runner Roberts. And swap good speed for below average speed on the bases. A fielder's choice. And now 1 out in the 9th.
Yeah, it looked like a very awkward turn
Julius.
at second base. Carson Burns picked that ball up.
Looked like he had decided at the last second to flip it to Odd instead of just going to first.
Yeah, he was in that sweet spot where it's hard to decide whether to go to the bag yourself or make the toss over to your second baseman. And, it's good that they got the force out rather than getting nothing at all.
Left field, not deep. McGarry Doyle moving back and to his right, makes the catch, and the Royals are down to their last out. Just one more look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we sign off tonight.
The second baseman.
It is 15-5 for Kitchener over Hamilton tonight. Hamilton added 3 in the top of the 8th inning. They are currently in the 9th inning. Welland is beating Brantford by a lot. It's 21-5 now in the bottom of the 7th inning. All these games started at the same time. They're only at the bottom of the 7th inning. 21-5. Welland doesn't face Barrie for a little while, thankfully. Because if they're on a hot streak like that, then it's going to be a little tougher than normal. Fouled away. So you don't mind that there's about a week in between games before you have to face Welland.
Yeah, exactly. And they might be saying the same thing about Barrie. This is a big game for Barrie coming out of a 3-game losing streak.
Baycats will move into a positive run differential after this game is complete, provided the score stays as it is. That's fouled away, and now down to their final strike go the Guelph Royals. Morrow 5 for 14 on the season. Hillier trying to finish it off. The 0-2. Kicks, throws. Left field, and we'll do it again. Brandon Hillier against Corey Morrow. Kicks, throws. Again fouled off.
What's that, 5, 6 in a row now? Foul balls?
That's 5. Foul, 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 foul. 0-2. Just high, 1 and 2.
That was a very close take there by Morrow.
Almost too close to take. Here's the 1-2. That's outside, and it's even at 2. That did look outside from our angle. So a couple of balls after 5 foul, and it's 2 and 2. And that's outside. Went back to essentially the same spot, and the strike zone has not been big in this at-bat. Hillier knows where the zone is now. Here it is. Left field base hit. Morrow wins the battle, and there are 2 on with 2 out.
That was a great at-bat from Morrow. The way that he was able to work that at-bat all the way to a full count and then make
Shortstop.
strong contact going the other way for a base hit.
Up to second goes Chiquetto. The good news is the Baycats have some runs to play with. The bad news, if it gets to that point, is it won't be a blowout win anymore, and that's really what the Baycats bench could need right now. That wasn't a strike in the last at-bat. Baycats won't complain. Here's the 0-1. And that's up and in. 1-1. I'm being corrected on that, by the way, so we'll give the umpire the benefit of the doubt there. To Burns, to Odd, ball game. The Barrie Baycats come home and win it 10-2 on a Thursday night matchup against the Guelph Royals. And they stopped their 3-game losing streak. And the Royals have now lost 6 in a row. They are cold, and the Baycats will look to take further advantage on Saturday in the rematch between these two teams.
This is a very important win for the Baycats coming out of a 3-game losing streak heading into this one, and to be able to put up a 10 spot on the Guelph Royals. It's going to be a huge boost of confidence, especially heading into Guelph coming on Saturday. We'll have that for you on Baycats Radio.
We sure will. We'll see you Saturday. Baycats, 10 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. Guelph Royals, 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. For Brian Backland, Joseph Nardella, all of our crew behind the scenes here at Vintage Road Stadium, Patrick Melbourne, along with Julius Hern, Ben Davy, who is on assignment. We thank you for watching this Baycats TV broadcast on Rogers TV and Barrie Baycats TV. We'll see you for the next one. Have a great rest of the night.